I'm Pam Masters. I'm a collaborative family lawyer and mediator. I guide couples on the difficult journey of divorce without court involvement. I do this to protect children, preserve financial assets, and obtain better outcomes for my clients. Some of the most difficult cases that I deal with involve step-parenting relationships, where the biological parent is upset that a step-parent is intervening in something to do with their child. You know, they're disciplining the child or inserting themselves into something that the parents need to decide. So today I'm going to give some effective guidelines for step-parenting. There are 8 of them. Number 1. Never talk negatively about your spouse's ex to the children. It's always important to remember that the other parent is still the parent of the children. No matter how much you disagree with the other parent or how angry he or she may get at you, it's important never to badmouth him or her to the children. This might be difficult, especially if the children are complaining to you about something that their biological mom or dad is doing. It's better to listen with an open and empathetic ear and be a source of support for the child who's going through something difficult with a parent. The issue will eventually resolve itself, but if you've said something negative, this is going to stay with the child, who may then resent you for it once they've patched things up with their parent. You should not discipline your stepchildren. This is the line not to cross that it just might not seem fair. You know, it might be easy to get caught up in the anger and intensity of an argument, but it's better to keep your cool and walk away and wait to talk to your spouse about what happened than to discipline the children. Your spouse should be the one to impose the punishment that occurs based on his and his ex's family values of discipline. This does not mean that you let your stepchildren abuse you and take advantage of you. It's important to remember your role is different than it would be if these were your own children. Number 3, don't try to take the place of your spouse's ex. Depending on the circumstances, the other parent might not be in the child's life. There might be a death or significant mental illness or something like that. This does not give you permission to slip into the role of mom or dad. The child has a mom or a dad, and it's not you. The child has the right to love their mom or dad while still having a close relationship with you as a step-parent. Number 4, do not put yourself in the middle between your new spouse and his or her children. While it might be tempting to try to get on the kid's good side by disagreeing with your spouse, this is not a good idea in the long run and will backfire on you at some point. It's still important to put on a unified front with your spouse. The child might resent you for butting into her business, so it's best for your spouse and the children to work out the issues on their own. If you're asked for help, that's a different story, but it's still important to remember not to go overboard and take over. Number 5, don't put yourself in the middle between your spouse's ex and his or her children either. Remember, you're not the parent. It's not your place to try to override the other parent's decisions about the children, even if you disagree with them. I know this is challenging. Number 6, don't ignore the wishes of your spouse's ex in relation to the children. As an example, if your spouse's ex doesn't want your kids to eat past 8 p.m., it's not wise to break that rule. The kids need to see you respect their other parent and that you're a good role model for them. Number 7, don't engage in a parenting discussion with your spouse and his or her ex. This is a sticky situation. While it's important for your marriage to be a source of support for your spouse, particularly when it comes to his or her relationship with his or her ex and children, it's better to be done privately. It's also important to remember that when it comes to their children, the decisions need to be the parents' decisions. If you voice your opinion against the ex, they might become resentful and make things difficult for you and your spouse. It's best if you can attempt to have a good relationship with your spouse's ex if possible. Number 8, don't feel jealous when your spouse and his or her children want some one-on-one time, or even if your spouse and their ex want some one-on-one time with the children. It's important for your spouse and the kids to know they can still have alone time without you and that you're okay with that. Many children whose parents are in a new relationship feel insecure and might think their parent loves their new spouse more than they love them. It's important for the kids to have a close bond with both parents, and it could become a significant family problem if you as the step-parent have a problem because of that. This is the most challenging thing you might ever do. And in some ways you get the bad and not the good, right? You have to take care of these children as if they were your own, but then you can't really assert yourself in some circumstances. But for the peace of the family, for the health of the children who need to have an intact relationship with their mom and their dad as much as possible, even though they're not still married, a step-parent really has to have good, strong, clear boundaries and maintain them. I'd like to talk to any of you about any of this or anything else that's on your mind. I can be reached at 386-271-8044. Shoot me an email, pam@masterscdc.com. And there's tons of great information on my website, www.masterscdc.com.